Hey, everybody, come on in. What's up? It's good to be here. Y'all, come on in this room. Hey, everybody. What's up, Christy Freeman? You get away. What up, everybody? Come on, Calvin King Bill. You get a room. I got so much to talk about today, y'all. One of the things I want to just, before the show even starts, y'all, I want to give a special shout out to Vit Noir Jeff for even allowing me to be a part of the crew this weekend. Hey, Rooney Crew, how are you, boo? You get away. Everybody speak to one another. We are family. We are family. I got all my brothers, sisters, cousins, friends in me. Okay. And and so I just, like I said, I just want to give a special shout out to Vit Noir Jeff for allowing me to be a part of their crew and get everybody into the High Park Festival with no hiccups. Like, it was a few, but it was good. It was smooth. It was a good time. Great concert. It was a wonderful opportunity. So, it was really fun to be a part of that, to be a part of that event. It was great, and I'm glad that I got to be a part of it. So shout out to oh my god, my sorry, I got allergies. Shout out to Jeff. Okay. And then the High Park Festival, what can I say? It was bomb.com. Check out my feed. Y'all saw a couple of clips. Oh my God, DJ Jazzy Jeff did his thing. Okay, and then Lucky Day. I am not over you just yet. Like, it was so amazing, the High Park Festival. Oh, and don't forget Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes did his thing. And then also, before I forget, my girl, Janae Aiko. I love Janae Aiko. She did a wonderful performance. Like, it was good. The DJs did their things. Like, I'm just really happy that all of this took place this weekend. Like, you ran into old friends, new booze, old booze, all type of stuff. It was just great. Like, I really just had a ball. And for Chicago just to show up and show up in one accord, it really was. We were stronger together than we were apart. Like, it was a great event that we all got to just hang out and kick it and do our thing. So for those that attended the High Park Festival, you know what I'm saying. Your girl had a ball, and I'm sure you did too if you showed up. Okay, getting back to, hey, it's the Real Love and Tea Show. Well, I got what? Love in my heart, real love in my heart, and tea up in this cup. Hey, Lucinda, Costa Rica, 38. You get a wave. Hey, Nisha. Y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the High Park Festival. Like I said, I just welcomed y'all into the room and welcome to the Real Love and Tea Show. Okay. So you're like, Andy, get on with it. You talked about the High Park Festival and how you work with Event Noir and you had a ball. And you talked about the acts. So if y'all missed that, go check out my feed. Okay, me kicking in the VIP lounge, all that good stuff. But let's talk about what today's show topic is about. And I think a lot of people are going to be touched by this particular topic. I did a little spin to it, so just follow along and see where I'm going. And the question is for today, the episode is today, is it greener on the other side? Is the grass greener? Is the grass greener? Okay. Is the grass greener? And subtopic, opportunities presented. So, is the grass greener? And the whole thing is, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like when people say, well, is the grass greener? Well, I feel like if you tend to your own grass, right? If you tend to your stuff, make sure your grass is kept up. You don't have to worry about if the grass is greener. And a lot of times we are fearful of upkeep, right? We want to blame others for why we didn't make it. Oh, it could have went a certain way, but you thought the grass was greener on the other side. And sometimes it's the neglect on our part, that part. right? How well did you keep up your grass, right? Did you maintain it? Did you put the sod down, put the seeds down? Did you put some flowers around? What did you do with your grass? Did you leave your grass patchy? Because if you took care of your grass, then you don't have to worry about anybody else's grass. And I know you like, really, Andy, are we really going to do this? And the answer is yes, because we have to learn to take accountability. A lot of times we like to shift the blame on others, because if we shift the blame on others, that means we don't have to focus on ourselves. And a lot of times that means you're using people as an scapegoat. And that's what we tend to do. We used to pull that old goat out and just, oh, it's your fault that this didn't happen. And it is your fault. But then I would like to ask you, what was your part in it? What part did you play? So if the grass is greener, why is it yours? Why is it your grass green or greener? Because when you think about it, let's look into it. Grass. Grass is a vegetation consistent of typical short plants with long, narrow leaves, unraveling wild or cultivated lands and pastures, as well as fodder crop. So, grass is a type of plant. Don't you got to water your plant? Just saying. And I know you're like, but Andy, it's just grass, but it's not. We're using this grass as your life. How are you watering your life? What are the things that you're doing? So when it goes to green, right? It says it's the grass green. When you look at green, and I did some research, green means fresh, not healed. And this is dealing with a wound. And then you have, when you're dealing with food, it's unripe and it's unseasoned. So this grass that you have, this plant that you have, are you having fresh wounds that you refuse to heal from? Is your grass so damaged that you can't go seek help to get somebody to get you started again? You worried about somebody else's grass. And the thing I'm asking you, what are you doing for your own? They got companies for that, to come out and like Lawn, if they still exist, or they have gardeners. When my mom, when I was at my mom's house, we had a gardener come, and he would come 4 times a month to make sure everything was good with the grass. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't even have to tend to it. I just had to have the money to pay for it and give him the money. And that's what he did. So that's what I'm asking you. What are you doing? Are you taking the necessary steps to get yourself back on track? And sometimes you got to pay for help. Sometimes it's okay for therapy. I do believe in God and therapy. I also believe that you should have a relationship with the Father, since He gave you the grass anyway. He gave you your life anyway. Right now, I am just at the point. Also, shout out to Pastor Hannah for 12-hour prayer. Thank you for Shanika for going with me. We had a ball. We needed that 12-hour prayer, because it's the sanctification that had to happen to align us all to be on one accord and one voice. And I know you're like, really, Andy? One voice? What up, Susie? What up, OD CEO? What up? And when you're watering your grass or watering your life, you have to plant seeds. It ain't for nobody else to plant the seeds. You have to be planting the seeds, especially if you're an adult. So if you're wondering if somebody else's grass is greener, focus on your own grass. Tend to your own grass. And that's why, um, Like I said, we did the 12-hour prayer in Tinley Park, and it was amazing. Now, the thing is, you didn't stay in one location for 12 hours. You would go in a room, and if you wanted to go back in, you would do it again. Like you would wait in line again to go back in for the next session. And they were hour sessions. And we just kept going back in until the Holy Spirit was like, okay, girls, y'all good. Y'all could go. But then we got home, and I ended up turning on my TV, and because it was via the internet as well. And I ended up finishing the 12-hour prayer. And instead of it ending at midnight, it ended at 1:30. It was just great because my soul, once you're in the spirit thing, and once you getting it together with God, and you got this relationship, you can never have enough, right? You go from 10-minute prayers to 5-minute prayers. So you could be in prayer for 2 and 3 hours in a whole day and be okay, especially if you have a real relationship. And what I'm saying is, y'all, in order for your grass to be green, in order for you to tend to yourself, you got to make sure you're together, and you need to take the right steps. You need to make sure your prayer life is on point. It is not up to your pastor to put all that pressure on this shepherd to make sure your life is on point. He's there to guide you and lead you as your shepherd. But it's not Pastor Hannah or Pastor Glenn's responsibility for me to have a relationship with God and for me to get myself in order. It's for me to have a real relationship with God and for God to keep me alive. And that's what the 12-hour prayer was about, or just having a consistent prayer life. And what I'm saying to you, there have been times when the grass was greener on the other side because I didn't want to focus on the things that I was dealing with. Because if you don't focus on it, then you don't have to deal with it, right? Like I said, it's always shifting. And as you get older, it's like, nah. In order for you to have real peace in your life, you need to discard any unwanted things. You need to tend to your own grass. And so, in order to do that, if you don't do that, you will miss the opportunities present. Leading to the subsection, is the grass greener? Opportunities presented. You will miss your opportunities because you won't tend to fixing yourself. You won't tend to it. And hear me clearly. In the Bible, tend means to watch, to guard, to accompany as an assistant or a protector. Once again, what are you tending to? And in biblical terms, tend, T-E-N-D, means to watch, to guard, to accompany as an assistant or a protector. God gave you this body. This is your grass. Okay. This is your temple. It is your responsibility to make sure that you are making sure the side is down, you are being watered, you are being full. That is your responsibility. You're a plant. Because if you don't if you're not careful, then you will wilt away. Okay. Hey, what's up, Cass? Fashion will kill you. Y'all get away. Y'all get away. And I'm talking about, is the grass greener? So, like I said before, and the also looking it up, 10 also means to have direct or manage, to work in, to take care of, to look after, wait on as an attendant or a servant. So in the regular definition, which is too far off from the Bible, 10 means to have direct or to manage, to take care or look after. So it's your responsibility to look after your lawn. Now, your grass could be crazy and have weeds all in it, or it could be manicured, but it is your responsibility. And when you have grass, you could put flowers in it. You could decorate it however you want to do it. Or I just always like the nice pedicured grass. You know what I'm saying? Pedicured lawn. Sometimes it's simple as best because I'm not a gardener unless you're going to get a person out there to do it for you. But when you do add flowers, it is an enhancement. It's beautiful to look at. But it's whatever season you in. Like there are times if you forget to water and the sun is hot, the vine will get scorched. What am I saying? There are times in your life, if you are not protecting your grass and keeping it watered, you will get burned. You will get burned because you didn't water it. Sometimes what? People water it too much. And then when you come back, the grass is all muddy and everything like that. Sometimes watering too much or overdoing the things. In order for you to get the opportunities that you deserve, how you taking care of your lawn? How you taking care of you? Because what are opportunities? A set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something for a chance of employment or promotion. What are you trying to get promoted to? Is it a job? Is it a friendship? Is it a courtship? You know what I'm saying? Is it somebody boo? You know what I'm saying? What are you looking for? Because in order for you to get promoted, you have to be ready for it. And my thing is, are you ready? Or are you sitting idly by thinking that you're going to get a promotion and then they come and look at your yard and be like, this ain't it. No, no, thank you. No, I'm going to sip on that. And sometimes you won't heal your yard depending on what happened in your yard. Fights. You see people fighting in the yard, straight out battles. What has happened in your yard where you felt like in your grass that you can't keep it up? What am I talking about? Accountability. You worry if somebody else wants to go somewhere because the grass is greener. But what about you taking care of your grass? Because sometimes it's not the other person's fault, it's yours. Do you have a temper problem? Every time somebody try to tell you something, you're an over talker. You're afraid if the person get out what they gonna say, it's gonna contradict what you say. Do you always have to be right? And this has nothing to do with just necessary romance. This could be at work. Maybe you just hard to get along with in general. And all I'm saying is, in order for you to really get what God has for you, this promotion, you waiting on something. Because I know I'm waiting on something. I'm waiting on several things that's going to come to fruition. I know it. But the thing is, I keep watering my grass. I have boundaries. In your yard, sometimes you need to have a gate. In order to keep your yard, your grass green, you need to have a gate to keep some people out. Why? Because they'll trample all on it. They'll throw trash in it. Everybody don't care that you have a pedicured grass. Some people mad that you got your grass green and theirs isn't. Remember them patches I'm talking about? They got whole ball sparks in their yard. They can't get flowers to grow even if your yard is just nicely manicured. Hey, Sharissa, what's up? Is the grass greener? And I'm here to tell you, stop focusing if the grass is greener on the other side. It is your responsibility to stay tuned to what you're supposed to do. Nobody else. I don't care. I'm not in competition with anybody else. The only person I'm in competition with is myself. I how to better myself. So my grass over here is green. And if I do get any spots, I'm going to go ahead and fix it, even if I got to fix it myself. You have to continue, like I said, you have to have a fence. Charissa says 100. You have to have a fence in order to keep the vultures out, the animals out. Animals, they feed on grass. Unfortunately, little bunny rabbit, you can't eat it. It is up to you. Because what happens is, if you don't stop, other people will let others know. One person will lead to another. Oh, go over there. She'll always hook you up. Just go. Even though I believe in a cheerful giver, you need to let God allow you and tell you who to give to. Because some people, they just master manipulators, and all they want to do is see what they can get out of you. They just want to be in your yard. They thinking all the things that they could do in your yard. They can have a barbecue in your yard. They can invite a few friends in your yard. They could sit in your yard. That ain't what, no. And then they don't even know how to do it properly. They don't know how to go to the backyard. They come in your front yard. They all in your front yard, all in your street. No. There is a time and a place for that. But if you don't nip it in the bud, it'll get worse. If you don't take care of your grass, they'll start planting the flowers that they want. That doesn't even go with your aesthetic. It doesn't even go with the lawn setup that you have. It is your responsibility to make sure your grass is together. Like I told you before, it says it's a vegetation. It is consistently a typical short plant. It says consistently a typical short plant. But at the end of the day, it's a plant. And a plant needs to be watered. It didn't say sometimes it's this and something. No. It's consistently a short plant with long, narrow leaves. It's letting you know it's narrow. And it's either going to be unraveling wild, or it's going to be a cultivated on lawns, meaning it's well taken care of. And then you have pastures. It's what are you doing with what you got? God gave you. God gave you an ability. God gave you a calling. God gave you this life. And are you taking it for granted? Or are you making an excuse of you're not where you're supposed to be because you're blaming somebody else? Oh, he left me. Why did he leave you? Could he not communicate with you? Let me sip on that. Because it's not always the man's fault. Or could she not communicate with you? Equal playing field. On your job, could you not get the promotion? Why? Were you doing what you were supposed to do, or are you looking at somebody else's job responsibilities? Did you show up for choir rehearsal like you were supposed to? Maybe that's why you're not. Did you do what you were supposed to do in the play? What am I saying? Oh, you love it. T said, yeah, that was my mom. She gave it to me. Thank you. Real China, girl. Real China. Okay. So I sent one just for you. Ship this chai tea just for you. Okay. At the end of the day, you could continue blaming others for the responsibilities that you are lacking. You're not even doing it. You ain't work out. Now you mad your spouse or boyfriend or significant other or girlfriend is looking elsewhere. You let yourself go. How is that their fault? I refuse. No, not at all. I'm not condoning cheating. Let's get that clear. But what I'm saying is, what part did you play? Are you really just an innocent bystander? Because that does exist. Did you get passed up on the promotion because they were out to get you? I do believe there are haters in this life, right? I do. I get hated on all the time. However, there are circumstances. Well, I fell off. Does anybody else fell off? Oh, it's just me? Oh, okay. Looking at somebody else's yard and somebody else's garden, I should have been tending to my own. But I'd rather learn late than never. And like Pastor Hannah said, you never too old. You ain't never too old to get it right. As long as you got breath in your body and you serve the Lord, it's never too late. You have made some mistakes in your life. He waiting on you. It's full of misfits in the Bible that God used. It was a person named Simon. He was a fortune teller and all this other stuff. And then he ended up becoming a disciple. It's so many things. David had somebody murdered because of his lustfulness. Okay? But then he became a man after God's own heart. You got people, was it a drunk? Seriously? I tell and learn and got it together and a turnaround. Yes, I fell off. Wait, hold on. Sharissa says, I fell off, learned, got it together, and turned it around. That's right. That's right. Sometimes you fall off. Sometimes you do get so busy, you forgot to work out. And it's your responsibility to get back on. You eating bad foods. Now they say you in the got high blood pressure and diabetes. It is your responsibility to say, oh, let me get back on track. Not say, oh, I got what they say, borderline diabetes. Not me, I don't have nothing, thank God. But for someone who has gotten that, the diabetes and the borderline high blood pressure and all that, it is your responsibility to say, hey, let me change my diet. Let me have a healthier lifestyle. Some people like stress. They are with you because you're peaceful, but they want to bring stress into your life. It is your responsibility to nip that in the butt and be like, no. Because if you're not careful, your grass will go from green to dingy to just plain out mud. Or you got just all type of stuff. You see people yard, they got all type of knickknacks and crap all in their yard. Just all type of foolishness. It don't even go with the aesthetics of the house. It's just a hot mess. And you don't even know how it'd be so crazy. People have cars all in the yard. In your yard? Not even in the driveway no more. Your car has made it to the yard. Your car belong on the street, the driveway, but not in your yard. And because all this foolishness, you can't even get from your yard to the opportunity that God got for you. It's totally going to pass you up because you got to now have hurdles all in your yard. You're going to have a whole yard sale, a rummage sale, whatever you got to do. Hey, Vladiria, what's up? You get away. Is the grass greener? It might be. The answer is the grass might be greener on the other side, but focus on what you got going on in your yard. Because maybe if you focused on what you got going on in your yard, then other people won't focus. And if it's meant for them to go to the other person's yard, then let them leave. I do believe don't keep nobody that don't want to be kept. That is not your responsibility. But if you keep your boundaries, your gate, your temple together, then it's all good. You don't believe me? Let's go Bible. I always give y'all some Bible scriptures so you don't just think this is just Andy coming off the cuff of God telling you, stop worrying about is the grass greener. Take care of yourself. At the end of the day, that's what I'm telling you. You want opportunities presented to you, but God can't present anything because you ain't taking care of what he already gave you. Too much is given, much is required. You required a whole hell of a lot, but you can't even take care of what he gave you. You want a future spouse. You want a new job, but you can't even handle with what you got in your yard. You want acres, but you can't even deal with the little square footage you got. I'll wait for it. You want a house, but you can't even take care of your apartment. How does that work? You want somebody, but you want your hygiene ain't even together. You won't even put smack some makeup on. Whatever. That is not of God. God never told you didn't have to have no makeup. Stop playing with me. That's a dang on lie. That's something you chose to do. And if you want to be natural, that's cool. But please put some moisturizer on. It's no need for you to be ashy. You still need to go ahead and get a facial. It's all called self-care. Put a little lip gloss on. It won't hurt. Have your eyebrows on point. Just saying. Natural girls got to do stuff too. Comb their hair. How about that? Comb it. Self-care is the best care, boo. Still got to get your manis and petties. Stop it. Please get all that hair off your legs. Stop it. I don't care if you shave or wax, but do it properly at 45-degree angle if you're going to shave your legs and have them some lather on them if you're not going to wax. I'm just saying. But stop blaming people. He don't love me as I don't love you as you are. I mean, like, stop it. Like, really? You have to upkeep yourself. Love me as I am. No, get that out of here. You still got to take care of who you are. You got a whole, your grass got to be on point. Start manicuring it. Thank you. Back to the scriptures. So you already know when God says to tend to something. Oh, nair works for you. Okay, whatever works for you. What hair? If that works for you, that works for you. What am I saying? You still got to keep yourself up, girl. He don't want you just as hairy as him. He don't want you having armpit hair. That is gross. That is outright disgusting. Armpit hair? Really? You really got heifers out here got armpit hair out. Talking about dyeing it. Girl, stop. That hair has odor. Shave that off. Wax that off. Nair that off. Whatever you need to do. But get that right on off. Take care of your lawn, girl. Manicure that. It's gotten out of hand, unruly. If you don't think the Bible talks about tending to things in your life, tending to it. Hey, young God. What up, Grinch? What up? Here we go. Genesis. You came in perfect timing because I break it on down. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Boom. It says Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. So the Lord took the man he made and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it. I'll wait for it. He took a man that he made. Genesis. He took him. We're going to go ahead and call him Adam, okay? Adam. He took Adam, the man he made, and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it. God gave you this grass. He told you to cultivate and keep it. This is your life. The Grinch says, preach. It's true. You are supposed to cultivate, tend to your stuff, fix it. He settled him there, he planted him there. It don't matter what you've done in your life, fix it. With the jail, so what? Majority of the dang old disciples end up going to jail and before and after Jesus, okay? Then they started going for the right reasons because they were speaking the word of Jesus Christ. They were saying, okay, listen, we're going to teach the doctrine. So they knew they was going to step on some toes. But they start preaching and testifying the goodness. They start prophesying and miracles were happening in the name of Jesus. God will use you. He will use what you've been through to help others get out of situations. And somebody else's grass needs to be manicured, and they were in a similar situation, he will give you the ability to tell them, hey, this is how I got out of it. To testify. My grass ain't always been manicured, y'all. But I like where I'm at now. I like the other side of things. I like that I look healthier and younger. And hey, my birthday at the end of this month. Okay. But it says in Genesis 2:15, so the Lord God took the man he had made and settled him. He put him there to cultivate it and keep it. Then you got Hebrews, okay? Hebrews, like y'all was at that brew fest, okay? Don't go there. Y'all was sipping it up, so y'all gonna sip this Hebrew, okay? Hebrews chapter 6, verse 7. For the ground that he has soaked up the rain that frequently falls on it and yielded useful for vegetation for those who tend to it receives the blessings from God. So we ain't talking about no sheep. We talking about you, who are the sheep. But we're talking about this grass, this cultivation, this vegetation. What you think the vegetation is, y'all? The dang on grass. For the ground that has soaked up the rain. Because you got to water it. Grass ain't growing in no drought. So if you a little dry, get you a water. Remember the sprinklers? We used to play through the sprinklers. We used to make it fun. Your parents be watering the grass and letting you play at the same time and watching you. Remember that? You used to have to make it fun, even when it was boring. Your parents, how you bring out the water hose, and then you be running through it, playing with your. They knew what they was doing. The grass was getting green, and the kids was having fun. See, we want to act like technology has just totally told us we got it. We don't have to do things ourselves. No, you still got to keep yourself up. Because when it crashes, what you gonna do? Your treadmill don't work. What you gonna do? Outside is free. You could go run. Ain't no light bill. You can't get to the gym, but you could take your behind outside and go for a walk. You can't make nobody laugh. You better turn on a damn gone DVD. Now you got YouTube. You got Tubi. You got Plex. Outside is free 100. You better think of all the stupid stuff you used to do and that God called you out of and laugh about that. Hell, you got to laugh to keep from crying. You got, like I said, you got YouTube, you got all type of stuff. Netflix, turn on something to make you laugh. Why do we always need somebody else to fix us? That is not fair. To put all that responsibility, have somebody else tend to your grass. You become a liability. Ain't nobody want that. Hold on. You got one more scripture. I'm going to give you a trifecta. Here we go. Romans. Okay. Romans 14:14. Chapter 14:14. So then, let us pursue the things which God TEND to peace and things whereby one shall build up another. So then let us pursue the things which tend to peace, things whereby one should build up one another. So we got to tend to each other. We have to build up the peace and bring it to other people. So you got to get your grass together so you can help somebody else. How's your grass looking? Stop worrying about if somebody else's grass is green and worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Opportunities cannot be presented to you, which you already know presented is now. It's existing. You want something presented to you, but you ain't put in the work. You want it to happen now. I want my husband now. What have you done to put in the work on yourself? Is your grass appealing? And you could go superficial oh Andy, that's so superficial. You could be so dang on superficial. So spiritual. You could be so spiritual that you know earthly good. You have to have a balance. You can be in the world, but not of it. Hey, Rachel Pearl One, what up, Proficient Cuts? Is the grass greener? You got to ask yourself. Stop worrying about somebody else's grass is greener. What are you doing with yourself? How are you educating yourself? What are you doing? I just told you, I just gave y'all 3 scriptures to let you know that you got to tend to your own garden. You got to cultivate it. You looking for somebody else to tend to your grass. What kind of crap is that? They going to get tired of you. They going to get sick of you and go where somebody else can take care of themselves and add to it. Their grass might be just a plain manicured grass, but it's neat. And then they say, hey, well, let me come over here and help you plant, because God will send you destiny helpers, right? He will send some right people to you. They see that you got a nice old fence, a beautiful, a nice little plain, pretty fence. It ain't the most expensive, but your yard is well kept together. And say, you know what? I can add to the aesthetics of this yard. But if you ain't got nothing going on, trust and believe they going to something greener. So your thing should be, at the end of the day, I always like to say, there should be no competition, but only with yourself. You need to do a self-check and check off everything that is wrong with you and fix it. Now, it's going to take some time because life is not a sprint. It is a marathon. But all the real do's and don'ts, you need to go ahead and get, like, if you're real difficult to get along with, you're going to be difficult on your job. You're going to be difficult in a relationship. And ain't nobody going to want to deal with you. You don't know how to manage your money. Ain't nobody want to deal with you. Yeah, they'll take care of you for a while. And then you're a haphazard. They don't listen. Oh, love me for me. No, you need to get your self-care. Get your beauty treatment. Like I said, you need to go ahead, shave your legs, your armpits, get them waxed. What Cherie said earlier, Nair, you need to go to the gym, you need to work out, you need to eat right, you need to do you. And I'm not telling you to be a certain size, but you need to be healthy for you. You ain't got to be a vegan like me. You, as long as you eating right and you doing you to keep yourself alive. But don't be mad when you totally don't look like the person that they got with, unless it was an illness. I'm just keeping it 100. That's not fair. And if you did fall off, say, hey, I need some help. Can you help me? Like, listen, I know I'm not eating how I'm supposed to help, especially like if you with somebody, they can help you meal prep or whatever, or walk with you outside. You know, maybe you got to take the stairs and not the elevator. But what I'm saying is you got to put forth some effort. Some. You ain't just supposed to be all sloppy. That ain't all right. I'm natural, but you don't comb your hair. Get a lining. Stop being so dry. Put some oil in it. Essential oils. It ain't got to be the type of oil to clog up your cuticles and stuff. Oh no, not that. What up, Jezebel? All I am telling you all, in order for your grass to be green, is for you to focus on it and tend to it. You want a promotion? In order for you to have the promotion presented to you, you got to be ready for it. Because I tell my students, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Now you trying to figure it out. Somebody want to come look at the house and the grass is all out of order. There's always unexpected visits. What if the person you supposed to have, he who finds a wife, but you in a hair bonnet? That's for the house. You couldn't do your hair real quick, real. I'd rather you wear a ponytail and put a little piece in than go out with a hair bonnet and some rolls. Just get a lining. Below, it is your responsibility to keep yourself together. Nobody else's. Stop blaming, shifting the blame on others. It's not right. It's not fair. It is not your it's not your pastor's responsibility to make sure that the word is getting in you and you read your Bible like you're supposed to. It's not. It is not your friend's responsibility to just keep you together all the time. They need you too. They need a friend. They need a friend. But you're not going to friend. It's just one-sided. It's all about you. Every time you call on the phone, it's all about your problems and what you're going through. No. You're going to have to do something about that. Young Janelle says, young guy says, it's your responsibility to keep yourself together. 100. Bullseye. Got you. It is. So as I end this, if you do need help, God does send you destiny helpers. I'm a destiny helper. I love you. When nobody else, I love you. Listen, I love you if nobody else loves you. This is a safe space. You're smart enough, you're talented enough, you're stronger, but we're stronger together. And what did it say in Romans 14:14? So then let us pursue to think which to tend to the peace of things whereby one shall build up another. It is my responsibility to give you your peace or to lead you to peace. God has it. And if your life is a big old mess, I'm telling you, listen to me. Give him a chance. It's not too late. Nobody's perfect. Listen, he's no respect of persons. If he could do it for me, he could do it for you. So I will say this to you. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to repeat after me. Lord, come into my life. Be my Lord and Savior. Forgive me of my sins. Give me peace. And in Jesus' name, we pray. Now, once you do the sinner's prayer, know this: you are saved. But anything that you have done in your life that you have to seek trial for, like you murdered someone, anything that you were done that wasn't right, it ain't no just repenting. You might have to go to court. You might have to see the real judge. You can't go, oh, God is the judge of all. He's the King of Kings. No, no, he gonna make you go to court. Now, the thing with that is, depending on the situation, because God is just and he's fair, he is decent, and he's in order, you might get off, but you're still gonna go to trial. You might get a lesser sentence. Or he might just give you peace to let you know you're not alone. Because some lessons we gotta learn. It's just what it is. We take the good and the bad. But here's the thing: you are now a new creature. You won't start to do the things that you used to do. You will start making better decisions. It won't feel right doing the old stuff you used to do. But you can tell people the goodness of God and how he's led you. And it's baby steps to this thing, right? You know, people want to just act like everybody got their whole life together. It's a spiritual journey. This is a real journey. Therefore, no, you don't just transform your life. I'm a transform. No, God, no. But people will be able to see a difference and be like, it's something about you that's different. And then you're going to have people, now that you got yourself together, they're going to try to get you to go back to your old ways. Some people going to want you to not take care of your grass, because by you not having your grass looking right, their grass look better. Some people want you in a mess. Some people want you to be down, so they could water your grass from time to time, creeping. Well, your grass a little dry. Let me help you out a little bit. And then take the water hose back. But if you got your own water hose and your own sprinkler and your own stuff, you ain't got to worry about nobody else coming in and out your yard, coming in and out your life. You don't need the messy friends. I'll look at her yard. Look at his yard. Look at all the patches and brown spots. Real friends don't look at your flaws and come at you. They want to, once again, the Romans 14:14, they coming to bring you peace. So I'm coming to bring you peace. God bless the child that got his own. Exactly, John Dale. And I'm also going to give you some destiny helpers. You got Dr. Darlene Nichols, danministries.com, danministries.com. 773-366-3437, 773-366-3437. A therapist. Sometimes you need somebody to speak to. And like I said, God got Christian therapists. He said be in and out of it. If the world could tell you about mental health and know there's all type of psychological problems going on right now, don't you think God got a solution? Then you have Adonis Johnson. I am my life coach. Okay, I am my life coach. There's some books, there's some DVDs, there's a two-parter. So one part, get your books, your DVDs, and then the other part is you get you a life coach and y'all work that out. Because you got to put in the work, you got to put in the homework. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. That's insanity, and we got to stop it. So as I leave you, I want to leave you saying this. It wasn't by accident that you tuned in. You get away. It's not by accident that you tuned in. Maybe it's later tonight. Maybe it's tomorrow. 2 days tomorrow. 2 days from now. 2 weeks from now. 2 years. 4 years. I don't know how long they're going to keep this up. But what I do know, what I really do know is that you are loved. That God has been waiting on you this whole entire time. And it's time for you to take accountability. It's time for you to water your own grass, seed it, plant the seeds, cultivate it. and stop looking at other people's grass. Is it greener on the other side? It might be. It's always going to be somebody prettier, smarter, funnier than you, richer than you. Everything. That's not your responsibility to do the comparison. God said you're beautifully and wonderfully made, fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made. You are beautiful. I just said keep yourself up. I never told you to do a comparison. Oh, this person's lighter and darker and all this is white and black. Nobody told you to do any of that. What happens is we tend to start focusing on the wrong things when we start fixing ourselves. Don't do that. Don't focus on fixing your yard like somebody else. That person's yard is that person's yard. That's one thing to admire and inspire to be, but actually trying to imitate and emulate somebody else, that's not what God called you to be. You're original. You can get some ideas from people to fix your yard, but then you got to get the knowledge. Because sometimes people putting chemicals in their yard, and now you see on infomercials, now they suing because it caused cancer. So you want to be careful of trying to do what somebody else is doing. I'm like Nike. I just do. It's levels to that. It's beginning, intermediate, advanced, master. But when you trying to be like somebody else. Comparison is the tool of the son of the perdition, ruin. Don't compare. Be you. God made you on purpose. If he wanted you to be like somebody else, he wouldn't have created you. Period. He's the creator. Stop looking to man to be your God. Man is not your God. What up, Jason? Man is not your God. You worry and focus on is the grass greener. Don't worry about if somebody else's grass is greener. Focus on your grass once again. Tend to your grass. Cultivate your grass. You so booked and busy, you ain't got time to be looking at what somebody else is doing. God made you on the purpose of major keys 100. Yes, he did. People tune in and tune off because they want to see what I'm doing. Am I in VIP? Am I in this, baby? I am just doing me. And that came with the perks of the job. I didn't have to steal for it. I didn't have to do, you just got to keep doing you. When you keep doing you, perks will happen. Opportunities will present itself. Be ready for the opportunity. Don't second guess it. Don't be fearful. Faith and fear cannot live in the same household. It can't be in the same yard. You can't plant that thing. Either you going to plant faith or you going to plant fear, but can't have both. Now you can experience both, right? Because it is an emotion and God gave it to you. You just can't stay there. It can't be planted. You can be scared sometimes. You can be a little fearful and be like, oh my God, I've never done this before. But you can't stay there. It is your responsibility to say, yes, I'm fearful, but I'm about to do this dang on thing. It's some things that I've never done before. And I am just open. I'm just open. The opportunity presented itself, and I'm ready. Andy, you ready for love? I sure am. But I can't have any bitterness in my heart. I have to have forgiven people. There's a couple of exes I saw at the picnic. And I was like, hey, and they were like, hey, you holding on stuff for 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago? We was kids. Even a couple of years ago. All is forgiven. I am healed. And even when your grass is you know it's green, you still got to keep it manicured. You can't let it get too long. You got constantly have to give yourself self checks. It's one thing for it to be green, but it's another thing to make sure that you maintain it and keep it cut, or it will cut you. Things in your life, if you don't attend to it and you let it keep going, it will cut you. Flip. Don't worry about it just being green. Make sure that you get the lawnmower out, that you get on that little riding machine, or you get somebody else to do it, but it got to be done. Listen, I love you if nobody else love you. I'm coming from a place of healed, and you could be healed. I gave you the scriptures, Genesis 2:15, Hebrews 6:7, and Romans 14:14. It is your responsibility to feed your own spirit. It is your responsibility to, when you're reading it, to ask God to give you wisdom and discernment, to not lean into your own understanding. You never read a Bible with just going in, like, I'm just going to go in gusto and read. No, the Holy Spirit has to guide you and give you what you're supposed to get out of that. So I will see you next week. I do love you. I do. And I love you enough to stop looking at somebody else's grass and wondering if it's greener. Because if you do that, you're going to miss the opportunities that was presented to you. YouTube family, I love you. Same time, same cute girl. Bye, YouTube. Now, Instagram. Let's give some shout outs.